Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Corner podcast, where we discuss everything NBA, NFL, MLB, and just everything sports. But today specifically, we're going to be talking about the last couple of games in the second round of the NBA playoffs, which has been really exciting. And we're going to be going from Tatum's injury to Game 7 between the Nuggets and the Thunder, and just our predictions. And as of today's recording of today's episode, we don't know the outcome of Game 6 between the Knicks and the Celtics, or Game 7 between Nuggets and Thunder. And this is just us kind of giving our predictions. But without further ado,
let's do it,
man.
Let's do it, yeah.
Yeah, man.
I'm very excited. I'm not a Knicks fan, but I know if people are Knicks fans, they are probably freaking out right now. This is a must-win. I know might be a Game 7, but I feel like they need to win tonight.
Yeah. If I were in their shoes right now,
Yeah.
I'd be sweating bullets.
Yes.
like
you just don't want to. You don't want to go back to Boston. You want to close this out at Madison Square Garden. I know.
Yeah.
Tatum's, and we're not Celtics fans. I mean, I know it sucks what happened to Tatum, but I feel like Game 5 too with the Celtics, they were playing on pure emotion too, and just wanted to win that game. They didn't want to close it. They didn't want to go out like that,
right?
Too, especially after their star player's injury,
losing. Because even before Tatum's injury, they were in a losing position.
Yeah,
like they were kind of on a downhill slide. And it's like not what they wanted, and the momentum was in the Knicks' favor, and so this was just that kind of final nail in the coffin. But it's not over yet.
It surprised me though. I mean, because it was pure emotion, but the way they played too, they really in Game 1 and Game 2 where they lost. I mean, they blew that lead, but they were just settling for threes, doing a lot of one-on-one action too between Tatum and Brown. In Game 5, they were really distributing the ball all around. Like, the role players were really having a great game. Holiday had a great game. The big man Porzingis was out, but the big man stepped up. Luke.
Cornette.
Luke Cornette. Yeah, it was a Luke Cornette game.
He's putting up Wilt numbers.
I don't think you'll have that same result tonight in Game 6, but they were
playing more of a team game.
Honestly, I feel like that was the best game the Celtics played this series.
So that really begs the question.
So that scares Knicks fans too.
Well, that begs the question of are they better with or without Tatum?
Oh, I think they're better with Tatum. Yes, they're better with Tatum. But I feel like when you take away the main player or the player who scores, who they rely on,
where they run the offense.
Yeah, they run it flows better, and they really can distribute the ball more. Like I said,
I mean, a lot of people, especially, will overreact to that kind of result. Like when Tatum's not in the game and they win, they'll say "Oh, is Tatum really that?"
Tatum
does he contribute that much to the team when he does?
Tatum had before his injury in Game 4.
NBA.
He had a phenomenal game. I loved seeing him and Brunson going back and forth in that third quarter. Tatum put up 43 points. Brunson had 39 points. Those were the best players on each team delivered in that game. So it's just it sucks to see that happen with Tatum, but
he's their star player. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still the Celtics are still a very well-rounded team.
Yeah, they're a championship team.
Yeah.
Everyone from last year's team returned, and they know how to win. They won a championship before. They have that championship
if I were
mentality.
the Knicks, I'd be very scared right now. Don't blink. Don't underestimate a Tatum-less Celtics team, because they just proved that they could win without him.
And history's on the line for the Knicks too. If they win, this is going to be the first time going back to the Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. They haven't gone since 2000.
A lot is at stake.
A lot is at stake. We thought Game 4 was the biggest game of the Knicks in 25 years. This is way bigger.
This is ours ahead of Game 6. So
we don't know what's happening.
What do you predict?
Honestly,
happen in this
I think
game?
the Knicks will close it out tonight. I think they can. I feel like Game 5 was they were in a comfortable spot, so they kind of took their foot off the gas. But I feel now they're are going to deliver that knockout punch.
Right.
Especially playing at home.
They can win it in front of their crowd.
And OG Anunoby, he had a terrible Game 5. He put up 6 points. He needs to have a great game. Brunson needs to have another phenomenal game. I mean, he's been very consistent. Cat, can't get into foul trouble.
I think
It's
Jaylen
gonna be
Brown
tough.
will really put everything on the line.
Yeah.
Because he's the guy that everyone's relying on, even though it is well-rounded, but he's the next star. But,
What do you think?
Yeah, I think.
Do you think they'll close it out
I do
tonight?
think. I mean, I do agree. I think they'll close it out, but it will go down to the wire. I think the Knicks will be a bit shaken. They'll be a bit nervous in this game. I don't think it's going to be a confident. I don't think it's going to be a blowout or confident win by any means. It's going to be really close, but I think the Knicks will be able to pull it out. But yeah, I
We'll
think,
see what happens.
I think in terms of that series, which has been
it's been such a fun series.
Good. But what I think is has been a better series, like more close, is the Thunder and Nuggets.
Oh, that series delivered too. I'm so happy. You got the two MVP final candidates going at it.
It couldn't have been written any better than
No,
that.
I mean, it's awesome. And then having just like a Game 7 deciding who's gonna make it to the Western Conference Finals and play the Wolves. It's a series that delivered.
And looking at it
I'm excited.
from the Nuggets perspective, like they had to go through 7 games against the Clippers.
Yeah.
And then another 7 games against the Thunder, which has been arguably the best team in the regular season.
And arguably, I think, have the best defense.
Yeah.
And I think what they've done too, it's just what they've done to Jokic, like really like with Chet guarding him and
Hartenstein?
Hartenstein. I think they've really tried to do as much as they can, but Jokic is just, whenever Jokic is on your team, he just finds ways to distribute, and he still finds ways to just score. I mean, it's unbelievable what we're witnessing.
He has been putting on a statistical achievement. Like, it's been a tear.
Yeah.
Like, he's just filled the stat sheets.
And Nuggets, arguably, they have no depth. I mean, if you want to count Westbrook, I mean, Westbrook is kind of, or Brown's doing well, Brown starts, but
Well, someone that's been delivering
Watson,
for them is Aaron Gordon.
Yes.
He's been
I feel
clutch.
like he's the key for Game 7.
He's the X factor. Like, if he plays really good, then the Nuggets
He'll knock
will
down
win,
shots. If he needs, he's really improved the shooting game, but he needs to knock down shots. He needs to score at least 20 points or more if they want a shot of winning. I think, though, OKC will close it out because it's at home. The crowd's going to be insane. The atmosphere is going to be insane.
OKC has, like, the Thunder have one of the best, like, fans around the entire.
And I just feel like they've never won it before. So these fans, they're going to be excited. But that's the only thing that worries me about OKC. They've made it to the conference, but they've never won it before. And this is a very young team, too.
They don't have that playoff experience like the Nuggets do because they've already proven themselves. They've won.
Exactly. That's
like
a very good
Jokic
point.
has
They won it
this
before.
championship.
They have that mentality. They have that DNA with Murray and Jokic, and it's everyone except Caldwell Pope is back. And it's going to be a fun game.
I mean, I think especially when it comes down to the coaching, since they did fire their coach.
I've been impressed with it, but
like it. I mean, when you have a player coach like Jokic, you can rely to have that kind of backup. Like, even though they don't have Mike Malone anymore, Jokic has been that leader for them, not just on the court, but off the court as well.
Yeah.
So crazy upset with the Pacers against the Cavaliers.
Yeah, but the Pacers, we've been talking about this. Like, yes, it is an upset, but they're a very good team. They're
Very
a physical
underrated.
team. They know who they are. They have a lot of depth. They have great team chemistry too. Like
Halliburton's super
Hal-
clutch.
yeah.
He's not afraid to step up in the moment.
No,
he's
and-
a good young player.
yeah, and they're a team too. They know how to close it out. They know how to finish. Like there's teams that if you're up, you just kind of want to like dribble around, kind of keep the clock.
kind of cruise.
They want to keep scoring.
Mm-hmm.
They want to keep scoring and just like shoving it down their throat, down the opponent's throat.
That's the kind of mindset you need,
Yes.
and that's what the Cavaliers are kind of lacking. You
Yeah.
know? And among other factors, but
Well, not a lot of playoff experience.
not a lot of playoff.
Younger team
experience.
too. Donovan Mitchell getting hurt. I mean, he's having to carry that team.
Yeah.
Really, there wasn't really a second player that could consistently make points. And knock down
Injuries
shots.
seem to be the biggest contributor to these playoffs right now. So like with Tatum's injury and then Mitchell's injury and Steph's injury, which kind of transitioning into that series, like it could have been a much more competitive series with Steph in
it
it.
would have been more fun.
It would have been way more fun.
I still think the Wolves would have won that series, but it could have gone to 6 or 7. With
Okay.
Steph out, that kind of shows that just the Warriors don't have an identity.
Even with Jimmy Butler as the second option,
He didn't deliver. He wasn't playoff Jimmy.
no. And
But
he
you
needs
can't.
that.
The Warriors are in trouble though, because we talked about this actually before we started
Yeah.
recording. But they have to pay Draymond, Butler, and Curry. They signed them for 2 years, and they're paying these three old guys a shitload of money. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do this summer. If they're going to think of
What the future of Golden State will be.
Mooney, yeah. Well, they're in trouble. So we're Lakers fans. I wanted to see Steph, have another great playoff.
We love to hate the great players because it's great competition, and he's also a super entertaining player to watch, and
But I feel like now it's becoming now LeBron stuff, it's a new era,
All the remaining teams, they're led by a young player.
Mm-hmm.
You have Ant-Man, you have Halliburton, you have Brunson, you have, if the Celtics were to advance, you still have Jaylen Brown, but Tatum is still, he's not the youngest, but it's the younger generation
is really
taking
coming
over.
Up. Yeah, and you know what, I if I had to pick one of the if I'm rooting for the remaining teams, I like the Wolves. I want the Wolves to win. I don't think they're going to win at all. How crazy would it be though if we got the Timberwolves playing the Pacers in the finals?
Nobody would have expected it.
It's just
everyone's parlay would just be off the cliffs.
I think that'd be a pretty entertaining series. But if you're not a basketball fan and you're oh, who's playing in the finals? You'd assume it's always the Celtics, Lakers, Knicks, these popular NBAs. Yeah, you'd be oh, it's the Pacers playing the Wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota playing Indiana.
But I think, in terms of the Timberwolves, who do you think would match up
better
with them between the Nuggets and the Thunder?
I think the Nuggets. I think if the Nuggets played them, they'd have a better shot at beating the Nuggets than OKC. I think if OKC gets past the Nuggets, they're gonna not sweep the Wolves, but I think they're gonna beat them. Yeah. In a pretty obvious
because
way.
The Wolves have size. They have good size, and they're deep, but
they're not a smart team. The way they closed out some of the games, especially in this Warrior series, they play they throw away the ball. They just would foul in the stupidest ways. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think they match up better with Denver because of the size. But if they play the Thunder, they have the best defense in the league, and they're probably among the smartest teams in the league.
Thunder?
OKC, yeah.
Yes.
And so them matching up with the Thunder would be a worst case scenario for them.
Let me say this, and I've been wrong, and I could be wrong. I can't, but Thunder win this game, and Thunder win on Sunday, I think they're going to win it all.
Yeah.
I honestly think they're going to win it all. They're a great team. They have a great coach, great depth. They play around SGA, who's been a superstar. They know how to close out games too, and I just think there's not really any a loophole in how they play in their offense or defense.
There's hardly any flaws in the system.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm putting that right out there, but
mark our words. If they beat the Nuggets in Game 7, they're gonna win it all. I think that's my prediction as well. Yeah. I think I'm a firm believer in that.
What about, real quick though, who do you think would be a better matchup for the Pacers? Celtics or Knicks? Because it's the Knicks, which I think they will win. If we're guessing, it's going to be a rematch of the second round of the Eastern Conference Finals from last year. Yeah, and I think that'll be a pretty gruesome series too.
I think whoever matches up with them next between the Knicks and the Celtics would take it to 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
Especially with Tatum out, if the Celtics do make it, it'll especially go to 7 games.
Good.
I personally want to watch Halliburton versus Brunson.
I
want to see New York and Indiana. Yeah. That's the one I'm pulling for.
Me too.
But,
Who do you want, though? Who do you want to win on Sunday? Are you rooting for OKC or the Nuggets? Who have you been rooting for? You want OKC?
I'm rooting for OKC.
I agree. I want OKC, especially since they've never won it before.
Yeah, and I like them, despite what they say about Shea.
Shea is a great player.
He's a great player. He's putting up one of the best seasons for a guard ever. He is up there, and who knows who'll get MVP.
Who do you think will win MVP? Real quick.
I think it's going to be SGA.
You think it'll be SGA?
It's going to be SGA.
I agree. I think it will be SGA, but it's kind of like a Josh Allen Lamar thing because Josh Allen he was a phenomenal. They were both phenomenal. But Josh Allen just had a great season. And, he had some amazing plays, and, everyone wanted him to win MVP. But Lamar just had a better season statistically, and that's same with Jokic too. But
Right.
I feel like they're going to give it to SGA because
Just like
they
Josh
won.
Allen.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty
That's
good
actually
comparison.
a really great comparison. Is like those head-to-head MVP
Yeah.
races.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to SGA, and I think the Thunder, if they get past the
I
Nuggets,
think they will
they're going to
win.
win it all. If
Yeah.
they get past the Nuggets, but that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, so my bracket's still my Thunder's. My bracket's still okay right now because of Thunder. I just need them to keep winning. Yeah, because I have them winning it all.
Yeah, go Knicks, go Thunder.
Go Knicks and go
Yeah.
Thunder. Yeah, and we'll see what happens.
But yeah, I think that wraps it up for today's episode. For those of you that are watching these games, put your comments down below who you're rooting for and what your predictions are and who's going to win it all. Because we're nearing the end of this second round and we're getting close to the end game of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We'll see you guys next time. And take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.